Okay, let's talk about this glorious episode.
Okay. It was okay. Uh,
Yeah, it wasn't really
mm,
glorious.
yeah, it had some nice bits here and there, and there was a lot of details that I liked, and I like most of the time. Let's see, this one actually lasted a bit, took up a bit more. If I can talk, this one took up a little more space in my notes than previous ones.
Damn.
We ended up with page and a half rather than a little over a page that my usual ones are. Uh, so we open with apparently the Furry Friends book club. Yeah. Due to due to chaos reasons, Discord is not in the Furry Friends book club. And thinking about it, in the pony world, there's really nobody that's furless.
Except the birds.
Except the birds. But like,
Which the birds were in there.
yeah. So I guess it's kind of even at that. It's a little because there's no if you're talking about fur versus furless. I mean, like in a
Well,
mammal that would be furless. Like we don't see naked mole rats. So I mean,
well, there are actually. I think there was a naked mole rat one time in the episode. Anyway, there are dragons and
No, that was just
pigs.
one of the that was just one of the stallions unfurled.
Ah, there are dragons and pigs.
yeah, I suppose that. But there's very few actual like the fact that she named it the Furry Friends book club. It's like well, I mean, you're all furry.
Maybe they're just friends of furries. She would have invited the furry fans, but they were trapped in our universe.
Hmm.
And I suppose they could do. I could also read Wuthering Hoofs. Well, Wuthering Heights. In our world.
I might mind joining that book club. Sounds fun.
Um.
You wouldn't understand a word that was being said because
Yeah, that's
she's the
why.
only one who speaks animal.
Yeah, that's why it sounds fun. I would just fall asleep and pretend I'm listening.
So
But
And then
basically,
when
like
they
you do
ask
in,
for your
like you
opinion,
used to do it in school.
and having actually never read Wuthering Heights, the theme of nature when it comes to Hoofcliffe's love that she mentions, yeah, I don't know whether that's.
Me either.
I don't
I've
even.
never read it either.
Me neither. Never even heard of it.
I've heard of
it.
Withering Heights,
It's
I just never.
it's supposed to be fairly good, but like a classic. But yeah, I never got around to reading it. I've got a few.
Yeah,
We
it's one of those like War and Peace and Pride and Prejudice ones.
anyway. Okay, we get the theme song. Something I noticed: Fluttershy's flight animation is very smooth. I like that. Like, whereas Dash is kind of a little darty. Fluttershy, you just if you watch her animation, it's just she barely kind of flaps. She's just very smooth.
So smooth. Smooth like the wind. Well, she has to be smooth. She's Fluttershy. But everything about her is just soothing.
Mm-hmm. Uh, let's see. She ducks when Twilight shoves her butt in her face. Maybe that's something you should
Well,
also learn about friendship is you don't stick your butt in your friend's
well,
face
you
like
have
that.
to remember, last
Yeah,
time
that's
it was with a fishtail.
yeah. That was the next thing out of my mouth was that she does it primarily, probably due to the tail slap. Rarity uses tail whip.
Oh, darling, I'm so sorry.
uh, we learn that Twi has been pent up on friendship problem solving, and it shows.
Yeah, because I'm pretty sure that the only other time the map called her was in the first episode.
Yeah. It's like, calls everybody else, but not me. That's okay. It's all right.
Mm-hmm.
Uh-huh. Yeah. I'll just use the time to prepare. Yes. Do some reading, some filing, whatnot.
And have one of those sortifications.
Yes.
Oh yeah, joy.
Yeah, she was going for Batman level preparedness there in the 5 minutes since the butt beeper.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure Batman would think she's crazy.
Batman would think he's crazy. I see giant flying
I see
horses. I see giant flying horses.
Well, not
Why are
just
they not
giant.
bats? What's wrong with me?
Was that a bad pony?
Yeah.
No, that's just Bat Fluttershy.
I'm Batman.
See, she's sitting in AJ's seat, but I know with nobody there, it's really not a big deal. But it's still kind of funny that they chose, because all they had to do. Well, I guess maybe it's a matter of continuity. Like that particular chair is Applejack's chair, and they're actually keeping up with that. I didn't go back and check that.
Yeah.
There was an error in the last episode when they were sitting, and one of them was sitting in the wrong seat. You know, the label was in the cutie mark on the chair was wrong.
Mm-hmm.
And then the next time they flashed back to it, it was in the right. It was the right seat. So
There's always gonna be some animation mistake.
Yeah.
yeah,
I don't think it was a mistake necessarily with this episode. I think she just happened to be sitting in Applejack's seat because
Yeah, it was just
it was
closest to her.
it was where her stuff was.
Yeah.
Mhm.
And if anybody complains, you can just say, "I'm the princess of magic."
And she's not in. Applejack's not here. Is
Yeah,
she
too.
really going to care about me sitting in her chair? This is my house.
This seat does not smell like my pony butt.
I don't smell.
she invites
apples.
Flash over sometimes, and they sit in all of the seats.
Okay, let's get back to the talk, shall we?
I smell lavender, not apples. The heck? Okay, we see Twilight is still very insecure about her role as Princess of Friendship. I mean, how would it look? To quote Pinky, she was nervous-sighted. It's a stupid line. Not stupid, but it's a bit overused, but I still giggle when they use it. You know, it's the line, you said books twice. There are a lot of books. You know, you said blank twice. I like blank.
Mm-hmm.
It's a silly line, but I like it. Someone finally uses the balloon.
Yep. So,
Yes.
who's having a police raid?
Apparently I am.
Okay.
Actually, I think it's
Sorry,
Fire.
everybody.
What did you do?
Sorry, everybody. Dex
Did they
is getting
find your
arrested.
stash of Philly porn?
Again, wrong stream.
Oh. Did they find your stash of pot?
Yeah, that works.
No.
Anyway,
I think it's actually Fire.
Pans?
but
what?
yeah,
They find
Yeah,
your
they-
stash of pans?
My
Yeah, they-
stash of pans. Why would I need
Well,
a
they didn't find your pots. Did they find your pans?
oh,
but yeah, as Dex is saying, using the balloon.
yeah, somebody finally uses the balloon again. It's been ages since they used the balloon.
Well, technically, it's used in every single episode.
Yeah, but somebody actually uses it for something other than, you know, arriving for the theme song.
Yeah.
Which is a bit silly now, considering she can fly.
Yeah.
Yeah, but
Plus Fluttershy too, but those book bags are heavy.
Yeah, poor Flutter's carrying those bags.
Then again, how strong is Twilight? I mean, she's a
she
book
gave
horse.
Fluttershy the heavier bag. Duh.
Well, I
She's
think
the princess.
yeah, I think when you become a princess, you get some of the, you know, with the alicorning, you get both
True.
Pegasus wings and Earth Pony strength. And
True.
so
Probably.
it probably doesn't bother her in the slightest because she's a freaking alicorn and it doesn't bother her. Also, why does Twilight have a bag for Fluttershy already? It's got her cutie mark on it and everything. It's not like she was a generic bag she just kept around.
It's
She
Twilight.
probably has one for all of the
Yeah, I
teams
suppose.
for
If she's
their
little
Batman level
trips.
prepared, she might have
It-
one for everybody.
It's
But
Twilight, so yes, she did have a generic
She
bag around.
probably has costumes lying around that she had
No.
Rarity make for her.
That's Pinky.
she has
No,
balls
no, no. Pinky
stashed
has
all
balloons,
over, all
balloons,
over
balls,
Equestria in
everything
case of,
stashed around.
all over
Yeah.
Ponyville in case of emergency.
I have backpack stashed all over Ponyville for backpack emergency.
Okay, we get another food wall. Lots of unique body models in this one. They, I think this was an episode that they really played with the models and the hair and whatnot, and tried to give it some unique looks. I think I don't remember seeing many of these models before, so let's see. So Twilight tries to figure out what, first instinct is figure out what happened to Inside the Feud in the first place. Decent idea, but, when they don't even remember. One thing that...
They know what they did.
They know what they did.
Well, one thing that people have brought up, and I thought was kind of funny, it'll only be a reference if you know Team Fortress 2, but...
Vaguely know it.
Well, there
I
are
only
two...
know it from the story we're working on.
Yeah. But basically there are two teams, okay, in the TF2 universe. There's the red team and the blue team. The red team is actually an acronym. It's
You both are.
Yeah. Well, they're both. Blue is almost an acronym because it's BLU. They're both three letters.
Yeah.
Red is Reliable Excavation and Demolition, while blue is Builders League
Is
United.
Builder League.
No, I did not know that.
Yeah. So
Really? It was in the story we're reading.
I don't really read the story. I just take out the parts I need to read and read them.
Really?
Yeah.
How do you know the emotion that's needed behind it?
I read some of the words before my part.
Well, you only have one thing, so I guess that makes sense.
Yeah, I'm Spike.
I have to skim through it for 4 or 5 different roles.
I'm Spike. My total lines are about 3 to 4 in each chapter.
But
Oh, who's feeling disappointed and sad?
That's okay.
But at any rate, the Hooffields, red, are with the red tones are terrible builders, but great farmers. Great at excavating to create planting. That's a little bit of a stretch. And then McColts are blue, and they're great builders, but terrible farmers. I know there were probably plenty of silly English kniggets jokes flying around. Monty Python and the Holy Grail from the top of the gate. One thing also I noticed, the mare on the top of the gate, there was a stallion and a mare both on the top of the gate, and the mare had a square end of her muzzle. That's usually, the head that they used for her is usually reserved for males, I think. But
Yeah, I kept on getting confused. Like, at first I thought it was a stallion.
I think they put the little handkerchief or whatever it was in order to kind of make it a little more obvious, but I rewatched it this morning and to take my notes, and it was definitely a mare.
Yeah.
He was looking very closely.
Oh yes.
Oh, Dex, I did not know you swung that way.
He swings both ways.
Okay,
just
back
wanted
to
to
the
ma-
talk.
Huh?
We shall get back to the talk and save all the naughty stuff for the after stream.
Okay. So, getting back to the subject at hand, McColt thinks of getting rid of the Hooffields first, and they're both like, giving us to get rid of the Hooffields. It's like, and one of my, I like almost indiscernible Southern accents sometimes. It's like, if you ain't for us, you're agin us. People who don't understand it, might be a bit confusing, but I like it every once in a while. So
It makes you feel at home.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah. So kind of getting in the way of trying to promote peace. It's like if you're not for us, you're against us.
Yeah. Yeah, boy.
Only a Sith deals in absolutes. Which is funny in that them saying that is in itself an absolute.
Yeah.
Only Sith deal in absolutes. Well, that's kind of
Maybe
an
he's not an
absolute.
only child. Maybe he has a sister. A sister.
At any rate, let's see. Meeting at a neutral site in order to discuss your problems. I mean, it really pulls up reasonable solutions in an unreasonable situation.
Yeah. Can't look at everything with logic.
Well, you can, but it doesn't always work perfectly. Or immediately.
Or ever. I'm joking.
Twilight has her version of the Royal Canterlot voice.
Yeah.
I wonder if she's been studying under Luna for that one. It's like, here is how you speak with the Royal Canterlot voice.
And always use we instead of me.
Yes. So I just press the caps lock button?
Yes.
Twilight Sparkle. Always use caps lock. It makes you sound more important. Let's see. Twilight tries to command the problem away. It doesn't work.
No. No, it did not.
Uh,
Although I would have been more like this. I am your princess. If you do not get along with each other, I will destroy you all. See, that works.
I will destroy
she
all
could.
of you, and I will... and then there will be no friendship problem. Sounds like a very Soviet Russia way of handling it. Oh, there's a friendship problem. Well, if
Yes.
we get rid of both sides, there is
Yes.
no friendship problem.
Yes, and I will destroy all the witnesses. Fluttershy's like, wait, I'm the only witness.
I'm sorry, Fluttershy. I'm sorry, but it has to be that way.
Let's see. She's sticking pretty close to her book. She's using the book a little bit as a crutch for this, and I think that's one of her things. Is she sometimes will fall back to books, which is a good instinct in some regards, but in others, it gets in the way.
Hey, here's my question I've been wondering. It's about the cutie mark map. Yes, I know it called Fluttershy and Twilight, but what would happen if the other friends joined?
The world as we know it would end. Fire would rain
They would
from the
all
sky.
die.
Yeah, okay, I could see that happening.
They would
No,
all
it'd
die
probably
a
just
most
go-
horrible death.
No, it would probably just get annoyed at them and at you.
Their cutie marks would explode.
Or
Probably
the,
like some force field that blocks them.
Yeah, or if they intend to interfere, their cutie mark starts to burn instead of glow.
Do you smell something cooking?
Yes, it's like
It smells kind of tasty.
oh no.
And then, of course, Pinkie Pie thinks of cupcakes.
Mine smells kind of like... Ooh! Pumpkin pie! Wait. Who killed pumpkin pie?
Because of the misunderstanding, the Hooffields launch tomatoes. They stop, but the misunderstanding leads to launched hay bales, which causes them to retaliate. There's a line that, out of context, this line occurs in a My Little Pony episode, but it's fine in context. Out of context, yeah. We're going to paint their mountaintop red.
Yes.
I love that line. It made me laugh.
Out of context, that's horrifying. In context, that's a lot of tomatoes.
Yes. They didn't really mean tomatoes. They meant tomatoes.
Quite, yes. You don't know who actually says tomatoes?
I do it to annoy people.
I say tomato.
Really?
I actually say tomata. Like tomato. Because the O is a little cut off.
I just say maters, so let's move on.
That's because you're a southern hick.
I am not a hick!
Y'all's neck's
I'm
so
also
red,
not a
it
freaky
looks like
fish guy.
tomato itself.
Anyway.
Let's see. The feud is affecting the animals, the civilians in this war. Let's see. One of her lines is, which, it's heavily implied that this is supposed to be, war is somewhat in this episode, because we see the part where I said the benefits of friendship outweigh the cost of war. There's one line, if you're a Firefly fan, that popped into my head when I was, when they popped out of the cake. Curse your sudden but inevitable betrayal.
Yes.
Yes, we get the Trojan cake.
I knew that was happening. Like,
Yeah.
anybody that knows that legend knew it was happening.
Anybody who doesn't even know the legend knew what was happening.
That was a good cake.
Anybody who's had a stripper pop out of a cake knew what happened.
So I get back on track.
Okay, so it's the first step in a long process of forgiveness, is one of Twilight saying. So yeah, forgiveness can be a very long process. So just wanted to comment on that. One of the next funny things that happens is they tell the McColts, Delta Force formation, and they form up in the shape of the Greek letter delta. That it's a triangle, but it's a subtle little thing, but it's kind of funny. Well, not that subtle, but if you know what it's talking about, it's a little funny.
Yeah.
The cupcake barrage is met with a spot and shield wall. Except the one guy. That one guy is stupid.
Yes. That one guy's name was Jeb.
No, Jib.
Jeb
Yes, I know my name is redundant.
It's repetitive, not necessarily redundant, because somebody could be Jebediah Jeb, I suppose. If Jeb is a last name, that is a possible combination. It's not really redundant, it's much as repetitive. But moving on, one of the things that, while they were, the Mama Hooffield and Big Daddy McColt, when they're arguing and fighting, it's like, well, the thing that popped in my head is, well, at least they're talking.
Yeah, I mean...
At least they're talking.
Yeah.
The war has left nature destroyed. the freeze spell, Twilight's freeze spell, is pretty incredible.
Yeah, scary, powerful.
It's like, oh yes, now I'm going to stop all of you.
And
What?
the tomatoes.
And throw you into a volcano so I can get this over with.
Yes, because Soviet Twilight says we deal with friendship problem
no.
by dealing with.
Twilights say, okay, since you guys can't agree and you are torturing these poor animals, get them!
It is time for the rising up of the proletariat against the bourgeois war fighters.
Fluttershy's like, huh, weird. I didn't know bunnies ate meat.
That's Rabbit's dynamite!
It's a killer bunny rabbit!
Yes, I apologize for the terrible accents.
Yes.
Actually, no, I don't, because I had too much fun. It doesn't matter who's right. We're both wrong. And, friendship is so much better than winning an argument. So, those are kind of the general gist of the lessons here. The other one being a lesson for Twilight. It's like, we did, and we didn't need my friendship portfolio to do it. We just needed each other.
Yep.
Yeah. So that was the episode. It was alright.
It was kind of funny because the episode was about forgiveness, and the episode of Girl Meets World this week was also about forgiveness. It was a week about forgiveness.
Okay, but I do have a question though. I'm guessing you probably do, but just in case, you do know that the episode was parroting, right?
Yeah,
Like,
the
the
Hatfields
name.
and McCoys.
Okay, just making sure.
Yeah.
That was so obvious that I thought it didn't require saying. But then again, I guess we might have some international viewers who might not have heard of the Hatfields and McCoys. So I suppose it bears talking about. If you want to know what that's all about, go look up Hatfields and McCoys if you're interested. That's that's what the idea is kind of based on. There's a famous feud between two families.
Admittedly, I'm kind of vague on the story though. Like,
I didn't bother really looking into it too much. It's not that important to me. So I mean, it's just, I haven't looked into it much.
I think it was some Civil War thing, and that stuff bores me, so I just never looked it up.
But yeah, it was never something.
I'm pretty sure it's one of those like gray versus blue things. North versus South.
I think it was in the South. It was
neighbors
in like
or some.
Kentucky or
in the
Tennessee.
South, but I think it was like Yank versus Confederates or whatever.
I'm not sure. It seemed a little too deep south for that, but I think it was more a personal problem than a Civil War issue. But
our watcher Melon says it was a territorial land dispute in Kentucky between two timber companies.
Oh, there you go.
Yes.
So I mean,
thank you for the elucidation.
Yeah, so there's not really, But yeah, so if you have an international viewers, few viewers we have, if that interests you, go look into that. There's dozens of books on the subject, probably a decent Wikipedia article or two on that. But that's about all I had to say about this episode. It was okay. Any further last things?
Any last words?
Oh yeah, I got one thing. I know the episode's teaching how you should be friends with your neighbors, etc., blah, blah, blah. But in some cases, there are some people that are so annoying you can never be friends with them.
I live with one.
Well, they may be annoying, but at least you don't have to be violent about it.
You don't?
Yes, you don't.
Really?
That's Hitler.
Well, I mean, I'm talking about your neighbors. He's different.
Anyway, that's my 2 cents.
That was a very different subject.
Anyway, that's my 2 cents.
I think you gave more than 2 cents. Don't expect any
Okay.
change back.
Fine, I give a quarter.
Yeah, don't expect any change back.
Yeah,
I need that.
it was designed to be a very war light sort of conversation. Very, the same way Tank's hibernation was, death.
A euphemism for death.
Yeah, this was a euphemism for war. They couldn't get away with a straight up war, so this is their bit. And, they just every conflict is different, and so you have to take each one separately and imagine all those parties complexly.
Yep.
Anyway, if that's all we have to say on the subject, I think we can close the book on this review.